Hey, tubies! It's Psychic Bomb. Well, it is so awesome to be with you guys. Well, here we are. It's Saturday, and that means it's time for our Saturday Seance. That's right. I want to give a big shout out and welcome all the new people. We've had a lot of new people in the last few weeks here, and the last 2 weeks I've been tied up and had stuff going on and just been kind of working a lot and was not able to get out the seance. So some of you who have just joined my channel, this may be the first time seeing the seance. So I want to say welcome. And I also want to say thank you to all my longtime friends here who have stayed with me and been patient waiting for this seance. For those of you who are new here, make sure my phone's going off here. For those of you who are new here, the seance is something we try to do every Saturday. And this comes out of the old spiritualist church tradition. And basically what we do is we gather. In the old days when I was in the spiritualist church, we used to go to mediums' homes on the weekend, and the medium would put us in a circle around them, and they would go into trance, and spirits would overshadow the medium and speak through the medium. And you don't see a lot of this anymore. There's not a lot of spiritualist groups around. And so I consider myself very fortunate to have had the experiences that I did. And now that I am a full-time practicing medium, I wanted to give, many of you have not had the chance to be at a seance, to have that experience. So that's why we're gathered, and I'm excited. So, I welcome you to my home. You're virtually with me. So if you were actually literally in my home here, I just have you put chairs here in a circle around my chair. So pull your chair up to where you're sitting and, join our circle, okay? You guys are the best. Well, just to explain what we're going to do, as I said, we're doing trance channeling. And trance channeling is when a medium goes into a trance state. Basically, we set aside our consciousness and we allow spirit entities to temporarily take control of our body, to overshadow our consciousness, and to speak through us. It may look a little strange to those of you who have never seen it, but don't worry, I'm fine. For me, it's like I'm just taking a little nap, and I don't feel any pain or have any discomfort. I do sometimes feel the energy coursing through me, and occasionally I'll hear little snippets. But it's very much like, I like to say, whenever you're lying on the couch, maybe you've been watching a movie at home, you're drifting off to sleep, and you can kind of hear what's going on in the movie, but you're not really following it. That's what it's like when I trance channel. Now, every medium's experience is different, but that's how I experience it. So, not to worry, I'm fine. Somebody wrote to me recently. They said, "Psychic Bob, I saw your seance. I was scared. I thought you got possessed." No. Let me explain something. Trance channeling and possession are rather different. In trance channeling, the medium agrees with the spirit to let them have temporary control. So it's a partnership. In possession, a spirit takes control and forces its will on a person against their will. Now that is wrong, and possession is never acceptable. But in trance channeling, there's a trust, there's a friendship, and so I only work with guides that I know and that I trust. And many of you know Fletcher. He's my spirit guide, and hopefully he'll be here tonight. He's what we call the gatekeeper spirit, and he's the one who manages the energy of my body and lets people come in and out. So anyway, so just pull up your chairs, open your hearts and minds, and let's get ready for an adventure, okay? Well, before we go into trance, I'm going to turn this light down so we have a softer lighting in here. So give me just a moment. This is a little dimmer light. And pull up your chairs, and I'll see you when I get back. this is Fletcher here. Give us just a moment while we get control of the medium's vibration. Oh, there we go. We think we got him safely put out of the way. Well, might we say welcome to all of you. Yes, my name is Fletcher, and I'm the spirit guide of this medium, and I'm going to be helping in tonight as we bring through others who want to speak to you. I must say there's a lot of beautiful glow and light out among also you tonight. There's a lot of what we call soul glow. And soul glow means that you're operating at a high frequency. You got a lot of good vibration around you. You know that song, this is, good vibrations, right? Well, yeah, that's what you got going on, a lot of good vibrations. Well, I'm going to step out of the body now. There's other people who want to be speaking. This is Fletcher, over and out. Yes, Fletcher, I do believe we will obtain control of the medium's vibration. Give us just a little more power that we might manifest more fully for him. There we go. I feel myself safely ensconced. Many of you have been asking and saying, Alfred, will you come and help me? I have heard the prayers and calls and cries of many of you, and I'm very pleased to tell you that I am glad to help you. Some of you this week have felt my presence. You have said, I wondered if Alfred could assist me in my development, and I have heard you and come to you. Some of you have said, Alfred, help me, and yet when I have come to help, you have denied my very help. Do not understand that our world and your world are very close. Our form of communication is much more subtle. We come in a form of vibration. Some of you are more sensitive to the vibration. You will feel my presence. For those of you who are less sensitive, we try to give you a little more of a wake-up call. Listen closely, for we will try to manifest physically around you at times. We will rap on the floor. We will rap on the wall. We'll even speak to you, and you will hear our voice audibly in a room. Do not fear. We come to help you, not to terrify you. But for those of you who have doubts, we ask patience. When we seek to make communication with the human realm, we have to lower our vibration to a perceptible range. We ask you to raise your vibration in order that we may have connection. Some of you say, but Alfred, how do I raise my vibration? It is done through stillness. If you enter into that place of stillness within yourself, and you ask for our presence, and you visualize light filling you, you will raise your energy. This medium teaches often meditation in which the body is filled with light. He has received this insight from us. We've helped to remind him that within is light. Each of you possess a soul, which is an immortal soul. An immortal soul has all power. It is truly the veritable light of God. If you want to know what God is, look within yourself. And when you discover the light within, then you will be communing with God. God is not a man on a throne waiting to throw lightning bolts, waiting to hurt you. He is your very soul, your very essence. When you feel love in your heart for another, you're experiencing a connection with God. It is said that God is love, and I can say from my experience here, since arriving in the spirit world, it is true that there is an experience of God that is immensely one of love. If you have fear of God, it means that you do not have love. Though I am not a big believer in quoting Bible scripture, there is a word that I must say that I think is very true. In one of the books of the Bible it says that perfect love casts out fear. I can say that this is a spiritual truth. There are those upon the earth who will say, you must fear God and tremble for your salvation. To step in the presence of the divine is a very powerful experience. Yes, at times it can be overwhelming and strike one with a sense of awe. but that all will only last a little while. But hopefully, if you're aware, and being self-aware as you will be in that moment, you will come to experience that presence as one of love. The overarching light of the divine is what illuminates all here in the spirit world. If you want to understand how to love God, you must first learn to love yourself. Many people on the earth carry self-loathing, self-hatred. They are ashamed of who they are and what they are. If you will accept that you're human and that you're created perfect and in the image of the divine, for some of you that will be difficult, but if you will begin to perceive that as a possibility for yourself, you will come to understand that you are love itself. You must forgive yourself your errors. Some of you are trapped in self-condemnation, and you say, "Oh, Alfred, I've done such horrible things in my life." It's true, as a human you can make terrible mistakes. But from the perspective of the spirit world, we look at each of your trials and your tribulations and your errors as part of your journey. You are no more in failure than there is such a thing as failure. From the spirit world, failure is not a possibility. Your learning, your self-condemnation that you put upon yourself is your own false creation. But as we said, it is a process of learning that you must seek. Know that you are on a journey. There is no judgment from our world. There is concern at times, and there is fear for those who walk in the path of error. But judgment is not even done by the Most High. The truth is, you do your own judgment. We encourage you to temper your judgment with mercy, though. If you would but understand that you're an eternal soul that should travel through many lifetimes. Your soul is accumulating knowledge. It's a process, a slow process. Many people on the earth look at somebody who dies at a young age. Say, for example, somebody who is a drug addict and dies at age 20. People say, "My, what a short life. They've messed up, they're condemned to hell, and that's the end of them." Be very careful you do not fall into this judgment, for you do not know what the purpose of that soul was. For example, the soul that was enmeshed in drugs may have entered the material world with the very life theme of being a healer. His ultimate goal was to be challenged by the drugs, to overcome them, and to eventually heal himself and heal others. Occasionally, when a soul enters the earth, they are told that you're entering into a very dangerous time period. There are many things beyond our control. As there is free will in the earth, humans are free to make their own choices, sometimes to their own detriment. Do not have fear of making a mistake, for we will guide you. For that soul, though, that has died young, one must understand that death, though tragic, from the soul's place of view, the soul's point of view, is a great lesson, and the soul can return and rest and recuperate in the spirit world, and decide if it wishes to try again. Remember, there is no failure. There's only learning. Humans oftentimes forget that they are connected to our world, and such begins the path of separation from divine light and the beginning of self-judgment and self-condemnation. When you return to our world, to the spirit world, you will come to understand that you are loved and supported by many here. Some of you here tonight are saying, "But Alfred, I'm all alone. My friends have abandoned me. My family have abandoned me. I have no hope." If you're in this position, it means it is a time of self-reflection for you. It is true that there are those in our world who will remove the external stimuli from your path that distract you from what is really important. And when you find yourself in that place of loneliness, of abandonment, You're not abandoned by our world, but you are put in a place of reflection in order that you might see what is important, what is true. So be good cheer, have faith, and know that you do not walk alone, as you are loved by our world. There are many here who want to help you. Do know that if you wish to have the help of the angels, you can. There are souls on earth who say only the holy people have angels. I say bah humbug to that. All of our world wants to help all of your world, but you must give us permission. If you would ask for our help, we will come and assist you. We see all over the earth now people preparing for the holidays. There's Christmas and Hanukkah, and all these festivals and Yule and all of these things. These are festivals of light. In the darkness shines the light. We in the spirit world celebrate these festivals as well. All the things in your earth that bring you joy, that bring you light, exist over here. And so as you celebrate and you have your merriments, remember that you are being celebrated over here, that we celebrate with you, I should say. And call upon us, invite us to your gatherings, and we shall be there. We will bring you enlightenment, we will bring you peace. The thing that we can give you beyond all things is the awareness that life is eternal, and we can bring you peace in that knowledge. We will help you through your difficult times, so do not be afraid to call upon us. I wish each of you much peace today, and I thank you for allowing me to come and visit with you. My name is Alfred. Oh, there we go. Give us just a moment. We got somebody else who wants to speak. Greetings, my dears. This is Rose. Oh, such a pleasure to be here with all of you. You know, I must agree with Alfred. As we look upon the earth, we see the beautiful lights and the decorations. It reminds me of my earthly life. As many of you know, I lived in London during the wartime. I had a beautiful home in Mayfair. And I tell you, when it came time for Christmas, oh my, did I celebrate. I tell you, I used to deck one end of my house to the other, filling it with lights and tinsel and trees, all sorts of beautiful things. I loved Christmas so much that I even would donate decorations to our local church. I used to give Christmas trees to the vicar and say, give them to the poorer families. And if you have room, put a few around the church. It was my great pleasure to celebrate this festival of light. You know, I say it's one time in my life when my vanity did not rule my decision-making. I truly did capture the spirit of this time, and I wanted all people to have joy. As many of you know, I was most fortunate in terms of financial situation, and I made a point to give away money to the poor and the needy. Oh, the Salvation Army always saw me putting a little in their kettle. Yes, I did. And you know, I would oftentimes visit the poorer sections of the town and East End of London, where I would bring blankets to the homeless and clothing, work in the soup kitchen. You know, I suppose the thing that I often wonder when I look at my earthly life is, why did I not carry that good cheer into the rest of my year? It seemed that after New Year's all the decorations went away and I forgot all the things that I had learned and went back to my boring, vain, self-aggrandizing life. But you know, when I came over here to the spirit world, they showed me all the good that I did during my earthly life. And they said, Rose, it is deeds, not creeds, which raise the vibration of the soul. All all my church going really counted for nothing here. I said to them when I first heard, "Oh, I'm a member of the Church of England." And you can imagine my surprise when they said to me, "Dear, that counts for nothing here." I said, "What do you mean?" I gave a lot of money to the church. They said, "Very good, Rose. It's very nice that you're kind and generous, but your church membership counts for nothing here. We're more interested in your heart." And they did show me that how the good that I did at the Christmas time came back to me in my life. They said to me, though, "Rose, it would have been better for this incarnation had you extended it beyond Christmas and maybe did a little good every day rather than only once a year." Now, you know, as Alfred said, they did not say this with condemnation or judgment. It was merely a suggestion. But you know, when I looked at my own life, I did see many areas where I fell short. And I started to berate myself. And a beautiful angel came to me and he said, "Rose, over here love is the prevailing energy. Love yourself. Do not condemn yourself." And I came to understand that even though there were times in my own life where I had failed miserably, but I was still loved. Loved by the very God who I pushed away so many times. Loved by all the angels and the guides who I so often mocked and denounced. As many of you know, I had a wonderful neighbour, a spiritualist lady named Madge lived near me. Whenever she would speak to me of the spirit world, I used to laugh at her and say, "Oh, Madge, you're a little daft, my dear. You'd do better to be in the Church of England where there's true knowledge." Little did I know that Madge's knowledge of the spirit world was far more advanced than anything that I knew. Oh, I knew the letter of the law, I suppose, but I did not know its spirit, not truly, not in everyday living. And this is why I come to you today, to remind each of you, love every day, not just at Christmas time. And if you love every day, you will glow brighter than any Christmas decoration. And then you see these beautiful stars twinkling on the trees. Know that over here in our world, stars burn brightly, and they illuminate the hearts and minds of all here as well. The light truly is a tangible and palpable thing that we can share. On that ray of light travels the ray of love, the very light of God himself and herself and themselves. You know, Alfred is so correct when he says that God is not a man sitting on a throne throwing lightning bolts. God is love. And the very experience of how you relate to the divine is found in love. If you love yourself, you will love God. If you will love your fellow human, you will love God. It's not so hard to have the divine in your life. Oh, don't get tricked up with the ruse, my dear. Don't say, "Well, I did 3 Hail Marys and I attended 7 Masses and, you know, I did 28 penances, prayers." No, my dear, these things are all rules and regulations. They may help you to get to love, but they can also keep you far from it by entrapping you in fear and self-righteousness. So if you want to know how to find your soul and find God, look for somebody around you and say a kind word. Visit with somebody who's lonely or elderly. Then you will be giving love. Ask God to come into your life. Ask our world to help you. Alfred is very true, and he said, "If you but call upon us, we'll be there." Many of you have been calling Monty. I hear many of you say, "Rose, come and help me." Oh, you know I do come to many of you. I will come in your dreams and speak to you. I will come and whisper in your ear. Sometimes my leanings are just little promptings along the way, like "don't go here" or "do go there." Listen for those as well. They're very valid forms of our world's way to communicate with you. Some of you say, "But Rose, unless I have a full apparition, I will not believe." Well, my dear, you might get that. But then you might be terrified. Think, "Oh, my dear, I can't handle the spirit people appearing to me." Be careful what you ask for, my dear. But know that we're around you, we love you, and we want to help you. Fletcher's asking me, to step from our medium. He says the power is growing weak. So I shall bid my farewells to each of you. I thank so many of you here tonight for your kindness. Thank you for allowing me to come and visit, and thank you for being here with me. Remember to call upon our world. We love all of you, and we will never abandon you. You are loved by the Most High. You are veritable children of the Most High. The power is fading now. I feel myself fading. I must step out of our medium. But in my parting, let me say that I love each of you, and please call upon me. I will come and help you in my name is prayer. Well, Tubies, I love to channel. You know, I felt the power going through me, and there's such a connection. For me, when I channel, I just feel the love of the spirit world wrap around me, and I'm thankful for the chance to be here with you, and I hope tonight's messages were helpful to all of you. If you've enjoyed tonight's program, you might want to check out my book, Messages from Rose. You can pick this up over at my website. I'll put the link in the info box below. This tells about my work with my spirit guide Rose and my work as a trance channel. So I think you'll enjoy that. Also over there we've got my latest book, Psychic Bob's Book of Wiccan Wisdom. That's there as well. So definitely check out the link in the info box below. It'll take you to my website, and there's a store there. You'll see a tab at the top of the screen that says books, and that's how you get it. So pop over to my store. You guys are the best. Well, guys, I thank you for being here, and I want you to tell me in the box below, what's been your connection with the spirit world? Have you ever been a channel? Does spirit speak to you? You know, maybe you've never heard from a spirit. It's a wonderful time to try to start to connect. You know, the spirit people always tell me, they said, just call on us, we're a whisper away. And they're so right. Anyways, I hope that wherever you are tonight, you're having a blessed night. I thank you for being in our Seance Circle. Listen, if you want to help me out, like this video, favorite it, share it with your friends, hit subscribe, be part of our channel. We'd love you to be here. Make sure to be here tomorrow night, Sunday at 8 p.m. We're going to have the Witching Hour live. It's going to be a live broadcast with Lady Angela and me and Lord Tony, and we're going to make it all happen. So come out, bring your questions. We're going to talk about Wicca. We're going to talk about the Order of the Purple Cord, talk about magic, all things mystical. So make sure to be here with us tomorrow. Come to Spirit Channel at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Mountain Time, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Mountain, and 5 p.m. Pacific Time. That's U.S., Canada, North America time zones. And if you're in Europe, it's going to be 1 a.m. London time and 2 a.m. Paris time. So hopefully that will help you. I'd love you guys to be here, and we look forward to seeing you tomorrow for the Witching Hour at 8 p.m. Anyways, help me out. Again, like this video, favorite it, share it with your friends, hit subscribe, and be part of our channel. I thank you guys for being here. I love you. Sending my blessings. We'll see you here tomorrow. Until then, may you always blessed be.